Hi, I'm Brianna.
And I'm Akira.
And you're watching
Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So, some very good breaking news just released. It is finally official after months and months of negotiating. Gennady Golovkin will be facing Danny Jacobs March 18th at Madison Square Garden Arena. This is a very good matchup. Even though this is a small step up for Gennady Golovkin, obviously it's a huge step up for Danny Jacobs. Now, despite the fact that Danny Jacobs has already been knocked out before, you have a lot of people that criticize him for being knocked down against Sergio Mora, which I don't really look too deep into that. Anybody can get knocked down, especially with a shot that they don't see, regardless of how hard Sergio Mora punches. The bottom line is, despite Danny Jacobs being knocked out before, being knocked down against Sergio Mora, this still seems like Gennady Golovkin's toughest challenge to date. Because Danny Jacobs, he has power that is very similar to Gennady Golovkin. I mean, if we were rating their power on a scale 1 to 10, I would say Danny Jacobs would have to be somewhere from 8 to 10 on that scale. On top of him having the type of similar power, his skill set, his height, and his reach. Because the last two guys that Gennady Golovkin faced that really had power, they were shorter fighters, like David Lemieux and Curtis Stevens. Now, when it comes to David Lemieux, after he got touched up by Golovkin in the first round, he was afraid to even let his hands go. When it comes to Curtis Stevens, he did let his hands go, but once again, he was a shorter fighter that really relied mainly on his left hook. Danny Jacobs comes in a much different package because unlike David Lemieux and Curtis Stevens, Danny Jacobs is a lot less predictable in the ring. He can box, he can fight on the inside if he has to. The way he chopped down Sergio Mora in that rematch was very impressive. Sergio Mora is not the greatest fighter in the world, but one thing Sergio Mora is very unorthodox. He's very evasive, very slippery. He's hard to look good against. And not only did Danny Jacobs look good against Mora, but he was the first person to knock him out. So this fight should be very entertaining. It should be very intriguing. What it's really going to come down to, the biggest question is, can Danny Jacobs, can he take a Gennady Golovkin punch? Will he get past the first couple of rounds? Will he start to do better as the rounds progress? Is the question. Or will he go into survival mode like Lemieux did soon as he got hit? We'll see. We'll definitely see. If Gennady Golovkin, who should be a nice size favorite to win this fight, if he beats Danny Jacobs, this is definitely the biggest win for Gennady Golovkin. Now, if Danny Jacobs pulls off the upset and beats Gennady Golovkin, you guys already know what that does for Danny Jacobs' career. It would be huge. Now, the only bad news about this fight is the fact that it's on pay-per-view. And I'm gonna tell you guys, just like I told you when it came to previous fights, when it came to Crawford versus Postal, when it came to Ward versus Golovkin, or Ward versus Kovalev, excuse me, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I said about those fights. I don't think this fight should be on pay-per-view. Even if it does 300 or 400,000 pay-per-views, I just think this is a great opportunity for them to allow a lot of casual boxing fans to watch this fight without having to pay the additional fees. But overall, this is a great fight. This is one of the fights that the fans really wanted for 2017 or even earlier, and now we have it. The fact that this fight is in New York, where Danny Jacobs is actually from, it just gives the fight even that much more of a boost. Gennady Golovkin, he does well in New York as well, so the atmosphere is going to be electric. So, I'm really looking forward to watching this fight. But that's pretty much all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.